Days of Fright Horror Movie Project Year 4.
Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 9th, 2015, which means it's day 9 of the 31 Days of Fright Horror Movie Project Year 4. And the movie for today is HorrorHigh. It's this movie right here. I bought all these just for Brain Scan. That's the only reason why I bought all this. Alright, where do I begin with this movie? Because it's basically a parody. And I knew that going in because I read the synopsis on the back. And I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. I like parody of horror movies, especially the scary movies and I like and a few others. And I like parodies in general, from The Naked Gun to whatever. So, when it comes to this one, it's totally different. Because I've seen everything in this movie done better in the coming years after this movie. Because this movie is old as I am, 26 years old. It was made in 1989. I don't recognize anyone in this entire movie. It was just, man, I don't know. This movie, I've never been this upset about a movie since Noobs. And I kind of went on a rant about that one. So, okay, basically I'm going to tell you what you need to know about this movie, and first up is the plot. The plot of this movie boils down to these two idiots, Doom and Gloom, who have the most annoying voices in the entire world. I mean, like, the chipmunks would be like, dude, calm down, alright? So they're Doom and Gloom. They steal the Doomsday device, or they think it's a Doomsday device, but it's Mr. Armageddon, who is going to bring the end of the world, and he's trapped in the basketball. Alright. That's our first clue for how this movie's going to end. I'm going to spoil this movie to the end. So, spoiler. Okay, Spencer. I know you're going to be watching this. So, okay. Anyways, it boils down to this Mr. Armageddon. He's like the ultimate. He's going to bring the end of the world because, what's it called? Earth has been postponed for destruction because Mr. Armageddon is running around on Earth or whatever. So, because of these two idiots who are aptly named skinheads, by the way, I am not kidding you. And so, because they just have lack of, they're just skin, they're like bald people. I'm this movie, I'm telling you. Okay, so he's running amok around this high school, causing troubles for everyone in various forms, from like, okay, like when I said this, I've seen better things done down the line in better movies. Like in Scary Movie 2, there's a weed monster in that movie. There's a weed monster in this movie, done terribly. There is what else? There's a computer dude who he's playing chess against these bunch of people, and he's like, you forgot one move, and he kills them, and it's like, oh, I know, this movie, I'm telling you, I hate this movie. It's not even funny. It's so over the top. I mean, I like trauma movies, alright? I love trauma movies, and this movie is just, it's a mixture of wanting to be trauma and wanting to be something else, like The Naked Gun kind of movies. Just because it's just, man, I'm telling you, these movies, there's so many things in this movie that I know I'm keep saying that, and it's true, because once you see this, alright, the movie boils down to Mr. Armageddon running around doing various stuff to everyone, making a teacher dress up in a dominatrix outfit and basically tease him in class, or kind of being very sexual towards him in class. And then you got this one nerdy dude who's got to level 200 in this one game. He's like, oh, I can't wait to get to 300 by nightfall. And you see like Oreos with the cream eaten out of the middle, just the cookie part, just stacked next to the computer. And so, I mean, these are like decent jokes, but they just fall flat. They just don't work. And And each of the people who end up getting killed in this movie end up turning into teammates for the grand finale of this movie, where it reminds me of Space Jam so much. It is basically the Monstars versus Michael Jordan and the Toons in the Toon Squad. I'm not kidding you. They basically, that's how this movie really breaks down. Is that you have your various Monstars who have their own various characters and characteristics. Like one's the computer, one is the weed monster, one's the two skinheads, and one is the I'm not doing that as racial. That's what they're called, the skinheads, doom and gloom. And you got Mr. Armageddon himself. So they're cheating like crazy. They're killing people, punching people, ripping people's legs off during this game. So it's up to our main character and this French exchange student who cannot say no. If you watch this movie, you understand. She basically sleeps around, so she can't say no. It's in her English vocabulary. So, and our main character, she likes. That's where another movie comes into play, American Pie, because it kind of has that. You know how Nadia from American Pie and Jason Biggs' character, Jim, he's longing after the French exchange student or whatever, and so it's like, there's another movie, and they got Space Jam, you got Scary Movie 3, you got various other movies that are done extremely well later on in life, but it's just like, wow, this movie sucks. So, okay, the gore, there's actually a fair amount of gore in this movie. There's people getting like ripped in people's legs ripped off, and this one dude who's wearing red Chuck Taylors, he kind of gets melted. Basically, I don't know what happens to him. Then he turns into like this little. I don't know what he is. I don't know this movie. I don't know this movie. All right, this might be a long video because I cannot keep my thoughts straight on this movie. So, our main character, they devise a plan to use the dude who turned into a computer against him. They use a computer program and they make a basketball simulator where he turns on the Monstars and shoots baskets in for the Toon Squad. And so they end up winning, thus preventing Armageddon on Earth. And there is this one point in this movie where our main character and our love interest for the movie, they finally consummate their love for each other, and the giant censor bar comes up to it's a black screen with the word censor on it, and you hear like horses, whips, and sheep and pigs and whatever going off in the background, and it's like, oh, and then it cuts to this little statue, and that had been brought to life earlier in the movie, and he had like a giant horn sticking out of his, and the narrator in this movie, she kind of constantly makes these puns through the entire movie. She's like, well, the basketball players are hard at work bouncing their balls, and then you got the dude who's playing the computer games, like, here we see such and such holding his joystick, playing for hours, and I'm just like, come on, these are old. They're not even funny, and I'm laughing at them now because they're terrible. And I'm just this movie. I'm telling you. And so each monster, like I said, as each person gets killed, it becomes one of the Monstar team for the inevitable showdown with the Toon Squad on the basketball court. And that's really about it of this movie. This movie is just terrible. There's really no redeeming factor for this movie, to me. There is, and I love parodies, and I love stuff like that, and I love the stupid stuff that kind of like that comes out of the world of trauma. But this movie was just like, okay. But there is one redeeming factor. If you cannot, there's one redeeming factor in this entire movie that keeps you interested. I am not kidding you. Okay, how am I going to put this? There is naked women scattered throughout this entire movie to keep you focused, keep you, all right, maybe there will be another one kind of floating in the screen. They're very random. I mean, it's just like, all right, it is very random. The in terms of nudity from the women in this movie, it's just like, all right, but you never see their faces, so it's obviously other people who are doing the nudity, while our main cast is just like reacting to what has happened. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, and it was just. This movie, I'm telling you, I haven't been this upset since Noobs, like I said, and that movie made me mad as well. So that's really all I gotta say. Horror High, it's run of the mill horror. 2, best watch with a group. 3, more than average horror, best watch. Doesn't add anything new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward, and 5, being a horror classic. This movie is a 2. This is definitely best watched with the group, and it's also a -4. It pushes the horror genre backwards. So, all right, that's it. My name is Max James, and I'm going to go geek out.